Glasses are coming off. That means we are starting.
Uh-oh.
Billy Paterson. Oh, my goodness.
Yo. Glasses are off. Does that mean we're going to fight?
Yeah.
Let's just...
Yeah.
Let's just beat the shit out of each other for 20 minutes.
Have you ever been... You don't wear glasses.
I wear them to drive, so...
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never worn them in a fight. Is that what you're saying? You got hit glasses on?
Yes. There were sunglasses, and I was riding my motorcycle. So I rode my motorcycle and was parking it. I was gonna say took my helmet off, but it was a no helmet state, Hawaii, and parked and just had my sunglasses on, and don't judge me for not wearing a helmet.
Typical.
And yeah, some dude just out of nowhere sucker punched me. He pulled up, thought I don't know what the hell happened. It was, I think he thought I cut him off, but he was in a truck. Like, motorcycles cannot cut trucks off,
I was really waiting to see what you did to deserve getting punched. I can't believe you were innocent.
I slept with his wife, actually.
All right. You're like, I don't know, maybe it was that.
It could have been that. It could have been that. But anyway, yeah. Yes, I still have the scar. Like, the glasses went into my face and cut them, and yeah, I still have a scar from it. So
wow. All right.
Fuck you, dude.
I will not punch you then.
Thank you.
And well, I mean, you have them off, so I guess I can.
Yeah, you can now. Yeah, it has, all bets are off. Yeah.
Well, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah. Ooh, speaking of motorcycle.
Wow, did you plan that?
I did. Yeah. It's Batman. The Bat Cycle.
I wish I had paid someone to come in here in like Batman underoos and just bounce in here. And
yeah. That would be. I could see that in one of your scripts.
I could see that. In fact,
I could see you making me dress up in Batman underoos with all the crazy shit that we've done together. Oh my God, dude. Yeah. We've had so much fun. That's the thing, man. Like, having this as a job, as a career, is pretty fucking amazing.
It is. That's why I like having you around, because you never say no.
Yeah. What is that?
You will pretend to struggle with it for a little bit. That's my favorite part.
I?
Yeah. You don't
Really?
just go, fuck yeah, man. You go, do we swear on this podcast?
Yeah.
All right.
Fuck yeah.
So you're never just like, yeah, let's go. You give it a little second. Well,
Do I?
I mean, all right, let me just think. And then you kind of like ruminate, and then you come back, yeah, all right, let's go. Like when we made you eat the pig's feet. You're like, dude, that's gross. I really don't like that shit. I don't really want to eat pig's feet. And we were like, yeah, but what if you ate pig's feet? And you're like, all right.
Dude, I gagged so much after that.
I remember.
I almost threw up.
Yep.
And it was so awkward and so weird because there was a ton of people there. Because we always have the big fucking casts.
Yep.
This was Crewed Up, it was called, for the 48-hour film festival. Not festival.
I don't know what it is.
Competition? Contest?
Sure.
Quiz? I don't know. Yeah. The 48-hour film competition. It definitely is. And it was called Crewed Up, and we had a ton of people, big crew, big ensemble, and I ate the pig's feet. You said cut, and then I immediately spit it out in the garbage. It's one of those big industrial garbage cans they had there, and John Mayer's place, and I was just like, oh, wait a minute, this is not normal. And I just started gagging, and the whole room fell silent. It was quieter than when we were filming. Everybody was looking.
Is Paul gonna die?
I think people just wanted to see me puke, I think is what it was. It's like, film.
Yeah. Who wouldn't want to see that?
Keep rolling.
We would have won if you would have puked.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I've never seen that yet.
I'm surprised you didn't ask me to puke.
I know. We dropped the ball on that. Because that's a winner right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's an opening shot. You're just puking, and people are like, I've seen enough.
Winner. You're going to the Cannes Film Festival.
That's right.
Yeah.
The can
The Cannes.
that you just puked in.
Ah, get it?
There it is.
Yeah. Oh my God. Do you remember the movie they released during the pandemic with Seth Rogen, and it was about going to North Korea and assassinating.
Oh, yeah.
What was it called?
Yeah. It was him and Franco. And,
James Franco. And
I don't remember the name of it for some reason.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
You could Google it, but yeah, remember that was supposed to be the downfall of Sony.
Yeah.
Like, but they're such a huge empire, I don't think they will ever.
No.
Too big to fail. Too big to fail.
I don't even think you can take them down.
Well, I mean, don't underestimate the power of the bat signal.
That's true. You got that going for you.
But we were talking about working together and how amazing that what we get to do, we get paid for, you know? I turned my love of filmmaking into a career working at Roswell. And you turned your love of filmmaking, directing, producing, editing, casting, acting, everything.
Yeah.
Into not only working for major corporations, but now branching off on your own, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, man, I refuse to starve for my art. I'm not much of an artist. So for me, it was like...
I think you're being a little modest.
I'm like, well, all right, how do I get to just make stuff but get paid for it?
Yeah.
And not have to live like in the bottom of a barn with 6 other dudes and, you know, eat ramen till I'm 38.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I get it. The corporate world.
Yeah.
Those assholes would pay you a shit ton of money to make their stuff a little less awful.
Yeah, for sure.
If you can deal with them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so I could get paid for it? All right, cool. Now, like, I have a ton of respect for all the people we know in town who are like, man, I'm just going to starve for 2 years. I'm going to make my feature film, and I'm just going to do it. I'm like, that's awesome. I don't have the patience.
No.
I don't have the willingness to eat shit for 2 years.
No.
God bless them, but I couldn't do it.
And I don't have the youth and the
No.
energy and the time. Yeah. No. But again, God bless them. If I knew what I knew now, you know,
Yeah.
and could do it, I mean, I'd be a lot better off. But, and that's why, like, we make ourselves available to the newer generation of filmmakers, at least, right?
Yeah.
I know that you're working a lot with younger, up and coming people who want to do what you've done.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge, man. I mean, I think you gotta try to help out like that. You know, our mutual buddy Kyle Mecca, you know, dude's super talented, and he first AD'd for me a bunch of years ago. I'm like, this guy's awesome, man.
Yeah.
He needs to, like, I've been on him for 6 years. I'm like, you need to go be a director. Go get famous. Do your thing. You got all the chops.
Yeah.
And you have the ambition I didn't have. So, you know, anytime you can, like, push those guys in the right direction, I'm always down for doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's something to be said about, you know, for us, you know, all the experience, all of the knowledge, and all of the education that we have gained, we don't like hoard it, you know.
Right.
And I think it's important to pass it on, and to, if I was paid for every bit of knowledge that I've given away, I would be a not million but billionaire.
Yeah, right.
You know, and I'm not ever looking for anything like that. I'm just looking to spread knowledge, spread you know, awareness, and give away what I've had. Which, I tell you what, man, when I was coming up, there wasn't a lot of that going on.
No.
Right? Like, what
No.
was the change? Like, why what happened? Like, why are we so cool? And the people we learned from are assholes.
Well, it's because we're Gen X.
Yes, I think you're right.
And every other generation wishes they were Gen X. There's only 193 of us, but we are mighty. And we're the coolest, and everybody knows it. You know, because the boomers were like, fuck you, kid. You can starve, and you can take my leftovers, and I wouldn't help you. I'm going to kick you right down that hill. And, you know, and then we got in. We're like, well, what are you doing that shit for? Like, why can't we be cool and help out?
No, 100%. Because even like the way we were raised, too, was like, get the fuck out of here and go get hurt and learn from it.
Exactly.
But now it's like, I don't want to be anything like the way I was raised or the way I was taught,
right.
You know? Side tangent, that's a huge reason why I went into teaching for 10, 15 years. I hated the way I was taught. I failed in school, and I knew that I was not fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And could succeed at things. And so I went into education so I could help change it and you know, not only teach, but do research and teach future teachers how to do it right and how not to do it.
For sure.
Right? Yeah.
Same. Yeah. I mean, I taught adjunct for a while.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing. I would be like, the first day I would be like, here's what I'm not going to do to you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not here to show you how smart I am so I can just pontificate for 3 hours while you're falling asleep and wanting to kill me and learning nothing.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to like catch you on this test. Like, how I tricked you.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would always be like, I would teach these night classes that were 3 hours, and I would go in and I would say, look, here's the deal. I will never keep you for 3 hours. Ever. Not once. It'll be much closer to 2.
Yeah.
But let's just try to actually get something done in the 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm not just going to talk at you. We're going to have a discussion. And I would always be like, here's what's in the textbook that's bullshit. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you what really happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? And it was always like, yeah, man, I'm interested in trying to have you learn something, not just, you know, feed my ego for a couple hours. Because, you know, that's what a lot of these professors are like.
Well, case in point, like, I'm a drummer, so when I was taught how to drum, I was taught the basic rudiments, and you know, drummers will know 5-stroke roll, 7-stroke roll, 9-stroke roll, 15-stroke roll. Okay, you've got to do these, and you have to practice them and practice and practice and drill and skill and you get the shit into your head before you even start to play a song. I learned, and I don't know how I stuck with it. I just loved the drums and I just wanted to keep going, and I had my friends there and stuff and we were all doing it. But then I turned around and I was actually asked to give lessons when I was in middle school. I was asked by the teacher to give lessons to I was in 8th grade and give lessons to the 7th graders. So I did, and then I started by doing the same way that I learned. And I saw them get bored. And then I started teaching drum set to people and did the same thing. Started with rudiments. They got bored. They fell off until I just finally realized, like, wait a minute. If I'm going to get someone to stick with it, which is what I want them to learn how to play, and I want them to learn how to love the instrument like I do. I need to get them playing, you know? So I started asking them, well, is there a song that you want to learn? And so we started with that instead. And now I tell people, anyone, I tell people, I will get you playing a beat within 5 minutes. Like anyone, that's my party trick. You know, when people find out that I'm a drummer, I'll get you playing within 5 minutes. They're like, no, what? No, I can't carry. I'm like, I don't care how bad you are. I'll get you playing. And, you know, that's like a hook. And people love that. And, and when people enjoy what they're doing and learning, and they stick with it, and they like it.
Well, especially now. I mean, we are like, no matter how shitty something was, we were told, shut up about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Suck it up.
teacher, coach, parent, whoever it was, they're just shitting all over you. And you're like, okay, thank you. I will sit here until you stop shitting. And, you know, now, you know, even just, you know, people 10, 15 years younger than us are like, time out. Why are you shitting on me right now?
Yeah.
Can I at least have a towel? What is this bullshit?
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, you could question that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we never knew, right? Yeah. And it's more like now it's like, why are you shitting on me? I'm telling my parents, and we're going to tell our lawyer.
Yeah.
And
It's
we're going
too
to
far the other
cancel
way.
you.
Yeah.
And
I'm telling my parents. Did you shit on my son?
I did, actually.
I did, but he had it coming.
The Actorsphere podcast is brought to you by Bison Insurance. Do you have insurance? Everyone has to have insurance, right? Once you start adulting. I had insurance and I did it all myself. I went online and thought it was easy. Just, typed in all my information, got a quote, paid everything online, didn't talk to anyone. But then I was referred to Anthony at Bison Insurance. And he said, you know what, man? Let me just check out your insurance and give you a free quote and see if I can save you money. So I said, okay. And he came back to me with quotes on my homeowner's insurance, my car insurance, my motorcycle insurance, my everything. And he literally saved me thousands of dollars a year just by doing the work for me. It was easier than going online because all he did was make a phone call and give him some information, and he saved me thousands of dollars. I couldn't have done that on my own. So call Bison Insurance at 716-791-7475 for a free quote. Again, you can call or text 716-791-7475 at Bison Insurance, or go to insurancebison.com. We're jumping all over the place. That's just my mind.
Yeah.
And but I do want to focus on your career. Like, how did you get started? Can I mention who you worked for?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Gelia.
Yeah.
Was that your first job out of like?
I had a couple shitty jobs out of college.
Yeah.
I figured out I went to Canisius College, not high school. There's no way I was getting into that high school.
No. Nobody gets into it.
No. Not coming from Niagara Falls, you don't. You can't even get on the tour.
Yeah. They won't let me drive by it.
No, exactly.
Go Spitale.
Around.
Go around.
Around.
Take Linwood.
Exactly. Yeah, my last semester, I saw this class for copywriting. And I was so dumb as a college senior and so unworldly about any of this shit that I thought it was like the Circle R kind of copyright.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's like a legal thing.
Yeah.
And I read more. I was like, no, like you make ads and you write scripts. And I was like, wait, what? That's a thing? People do that? And I'm like, well, I can do that.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like a real job.
Yeah.
So that's what I tried to get into. And I just spent my whole career just working at agencies and writing stuff, and more scripts, video and TV got to be a bigger deal. Mm-hmm. And it was always like I wanted to figure out the next part of it. When you first start out, they're like, okay, write this script, and you write some options and they go, give me that. And then they go, you go clean the bathroom now. And you're like, all right, well, let me know how this goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then as you move up, you're like, wait a minute, could I come to the shoot? Yeah. Could I be involved? So when you stick your face in there and you're like, I want to help cast this, and I want to be at the shoot, I want to help pick the director. And then literally every couple of years along the way, I would just be like, well, maybe I could just direct it. And you just kind of keep going until you're like, I don't know why I'm handing this to somebody else.
Yeah.
For some of the people I used to work with, we'd be like, you bring in this director, you give him your idea, and then the crew does all the work. The director makes bad decisions that aren't what you needed. You're correcting them all day. They collect $15,000 and go home. And you're like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, yeah.
So at one point we were like, you know what? No more of that. I can go out there and go, no, you move over here, say it more like this.
Yeah.
And you just kind of get to where you're like, you want to own more of it.
Yeah. So you, I mean, eventually got to the point where you're doing the entire production A to Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I mean, how good does that feel? Because you get control over everything. Now, do you do editing too, or?
I know enough to be dangerous. Like
Yeah,
on a first cut,
yeah.
you wouldn't ever want my finished product.
No, of course. Yeah. I love just giving it off to the editor that
Yeah.
the person that I can trust, and I give them the storyline. You know, there are, I mean, they're few and far between, but once you get a great editor, I mean, and everybody knows it too, and they just kind of sink their talons into them, and then
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's like, what's the cliche? Like, the edit's the final revision of the script. Like, you know, you get there's editors who know how to press the buttons, you know, and you're like, you got to kind of tell them. And then the ones that are also storytellers, they get all the foot and they're like, oh, maybe it's really more like this. You're like, oh yeah, you made the story better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's pretty incredible too.
Yeah.
I was just introduced, and I'm all self-taught everything, especially when it comes to video. So I was just introduced the past 3 years into getting, you know, filming everything, and then before editing, getting the what's the word I'm looking for? The written script, getting it not translated. The words
I don't know
paper, words,
script,
wall,
something,
bad signal. Yeah. You know rev.com?
Oh yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah, getting like the captions done.
Yeah, but not captions. What's it called? Damn it. This room sucks my brain matter out. I swear to God, because every time I'm sitting here, like half the podcast is like saying,
trying to
what
find
is
a
that
word.
thing? Well, I need a fucking producer who can Google shit for me.
You do need a producer.
Yeah.
Just for your whole life.
Who you telling? Holy shit, dude.
Wow. We should work on that.
Yeah. Taking applications.
All right. I'll spread the word.
Okay, good. Damn it. What's
like transcript? Is that what you're
going
for? All right.
Transcript.
Gotcha.
I had half of it. I said script. Forgot the trans. Let's not.
Nothing.
Let's
good.
not get canceled.
Nope. The two of us cannot.
Too late. Yeah. All right. So anyway, yeah, getting the like I just found out that that's a thing. Like getting the transcript.
Oh yeah.
Of all of the dialogue that was spoken, and doing like actual searches and going through line by line. I'm like, oh, that's a great line. I never did anything like that before. I just went through all the video, and I feel like, you know, going through the transcripts is great, but did we get the good video when they spoke this? You know, like did we get good audio when we recorded this line? You know, like, can we make it happen, or am I just highlighting something out of?
Yeah. Now, if you're blessed to have a script supervisor who's marking down the good takes, then that's the holy grail, because then you have it all right there. But usually you don't. Usually you can't afford that.
Yeah.
And you're on your own. And I never remember to mark it down.
Yeah.
I sort of have it in my brain, and there's that thing where you're like, all right, you know, let's say you did 7 takes. You know the first 2 suck.
Right.
And you know the last one probably isn't it either. Right. So you're like, oh, let me just hit 4 and 5 and see where we're at.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
You know.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's beneficial when you're doing it all.
Yeah.
So you know where everything is.
Yeah.
But when there's multiple people, you just have to have that right team, you know?
Yeah.
And it takes a while to find them. And then sometimes people move on, and then you have to find them again. And, you know, it's very rare, but it happens where you walk into a good team. And I did that at Roswell. Like the team there is just like, pff, they're great. Just ask them; they'll tell you.
Yeah. Yep.
I say that because we bust each other's balls all the time. But honestly, it's I wouldn't trade it for anything. You know, I don't have any regrets. I mean, I've got degrees in all other fields, and I've tried everything.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, and I think it's that Gen X thing again. It was like, okay, this is what you have to do. You fucking go get a degree, and you go get a job, and you work that job and shut the fuck up, and you make a retirement and suck it up and deal with red tape and deal with bosses shitting on you, and just that's gonna be your life, you know?
That is totally how it is. And you just sat there, you're like, well, I've been here for 9 years. They're going to notice me any minute now.
Oh, God.
I am just grinding over here. And they gave me a Red Lobster gift card last week. So I think that promotion is right around the corner. I think they're really starting to see the value.
Yeah.
And then, then later on you're working with millennials. They come in on their third week and they're like, what's my career path? Do you see a promotion for me? I feel like I'm doing more than I'm being recognized for. And you're like, holy shit, dude. I was afraid to even talk to anyone for 4 years.
Yeah. You don't even put the seat down when you go to the bathroom. Like, what? Get the hell out of here. Yeah.
Yeah.
How funny. Yeah. I've always, like, I think I tried to fight it. I tried to fight the fact that I couldn't have a job doing what I loved,
Yeah.
because it was never an option. I had to learn it myself.
Yep.
So finally, here we are.
Yeah.
I'm 100 years old.
Yep. Just figuring it out.
Yep. Just starting to figure it out, and should be retiring tomorrow.
But you can't.
Nope.
At least this is a field you don't retire from.
That's right. Yeah.
Every once in a while they'll be like, oh, some director just announced they're retiring. I'm like, that's kind of stupid, because in 3 years they could just decide, fuck it, I am going to make another movie.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't actually retire.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
There's no ceremony.
It's just a little break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're creative, you just do shit when you want to do it.
Yeah. I'm going to travel for a couple of years, and then whatever.
I think you're going to make a really cool film when you're in your late 70s.
Right?
I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I see. I've got a vision.
I can see it. I can see it coming. And you're going to be like a randy old fucker on the red carpet and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. With my 25-year-old girlfriend.
Yep.
Who tricked me into having my third child.
Exactly. And you're making movies just because you owe so much money.
Child support.
Yeah.
Oh, God, help me. I'd do that.
Yeah. I think that's coming.
I think.
Sit tight for another 25 years, dude. I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just it, too. Like, we are constantly grinding and grinding and grinding and working towards our goals and trying to do our little passion projects on the side like this, and it's that's also cool because we can also pull our work buddies into our passion projects, like you and I have done.
Yeah.
I mean, we met each other because you cast me.
Yep. Exactly.
And then not too long after that, we did a couple of things. And not too long after that, you were like, hey, you want to act for free now? And I was like, yeah.
That's how you do it.
For the 48. And yeah, and obviously we became good friends. And we hang out and we go see comedy shows together now.
That's right.
And watch Bills games together.
That's right.
And get drinks and do everything that. Yeah.
Because it's just better to be around creative people than non-creative people. Yeah. That's the bottom line. I realized at one point, I was like, you know what? I think I would not even care if I was just like the piss boy on the set or something. I just like being around creative people.
Yeah.
I don't have to be like the star of the show or anything like that. It's like I'd just rather be around creative people than not, you know. And it's not, you know how it is, man. You're at a fucking barbecue or a cocktail party, and you get talking to, you know, this guy's a foot doctor and that guy's a fucking hedge fund guy.
Yeah.
And they want to talk about lawn care.
Yeah.
And they want to talk about like whatever. And you're just like, you're boring me to fucking death, dude. Yeah. There's just nothing interesting about you at all. And I know this is my problem, not yours. You're a perfectly reasonable human being.
You're a normal person. Yeah.
But I need someone who's got a bat signal like you do to keep me entertained. Otherwise, I'm fucking drying up right before your eyes.
That's it too. Like, we talk about the stuff that we're working on, and we're all interested in hearing that shit, you know,
for sure.
Because, maybe you run into a brick wall with something or a problem that you need help with, or even, like the plot of a script or something. And you've got people who know what the fuck to do and have either experienced that before or can help you in some way or any way. Yeah. And it's really fucking cool, man.
It is.
You know?
And then you just have fun watching your friends do cool shit, even if you're not involved. You're like, that was awesome to see. Yeah. You know, I mean, I love that. And you just love being around that. And when you're not, you're kind of like, oh man, I'm really in a dopamine deficit right now because nobody's doing anything cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
for
need
sure.
to see something cool right now.
Yeah. And I think that's unique about Buffalo and our area, because I don't see that a lot in New York. I don't see that a lot in LA, where people are very supportive. I could be wrong. Sorry, New York and LA. Also, go fuck yourself.
That too.
We're in Buffalo, okay? Go Bills. We have created this community of creators, and special, like, talented and experienced and educated people who make cool fucking shit. Yeah. And we all help each other out, and we all know each other. And if we haven't worked with each other, it's only 1 degree of separation with everyone. And we, like, I think a few weeks back, I was in a bind where my creative crew couldn't do what we planned for them to do. So I reached out to you. I reached out to Kyle. I reached out to Traz and Harry and like everyone that I knew. And I got a crew the night before. Yeah. An entire crew. I got 3 camera angles. I've got editors. And it was amazing. Yeah. That's Director. Awesome. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm getting chills, man. Just just talking, thinking about it.
It's true. I was doing a shoot a couple months ago, and the actress in it, I went up to her while she was getting makeup on. I'm like, I don't think we've ever actually met. We've been friends on Facebook forever. Mm-hmm. I've seen everything you've done. Yeah. And we both know who each other are. And I think this is the first time we've actually met.
In person.
And you're both like, that's weird. I could swear we know each other. But you just... But you kind of keep up with who's doing cool stuff. And you know who they are. And you're like, all right, someday I'll work with them. And hopefully you eventually get to.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really, really cool. And unique about Buffalo. Yeah. And, this community that we've created, we should all be proud.
Yeah. Some of it's because we just have less assholes per capita here.
I think so.
Yeah. People are just more down to earth here. It's like they just want a beer and a decent football game. And,
exactly.
They're not full of shit.
We've all suffered through 4 Super Bowls together.
Yep.
And
fucking blizzards. And
yes.
Yeah.
And just, so it's like, we have a little more compassion than most, I think.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
I think that's a good spot to wrap it up.
That's a good spot for me, man. Always good to hang out, dude.
Yeah, you too, brother.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do this again because we got a million things to talk about.
Yeah, we could do this all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll do that someday. We'll just We'll do a
Just
24-hour.
yeah, a fucking
Yeah.
marathon. We'll live stream it.
Yep.
Fuck it.
Just tune in at any point, and we'll be saying something you don't want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Well,
All right, man.
Bill Paterson, thank you.
Thanks, man. That's the name of the podcast, right?
I'm a moron.
Yeah. And here with me is another moron.
That's seriously what I should rename it. We call it Actorshpere. Do you talk about acting? No.
No.
What do you talk about? Moronic things?
Right.
Yeah.
My guest moron today.
Oh, crap.